Next up, we have Christine Crawford, Business and Communications Manager, Irish Water. During Christine's career, she has won numerous awards and has many highlights, including a TV reporter for the American Broadcasting Corporation and the BBC, discussing water conservation for business, Irish Water's Water Stewardship Programme.
Hello everyone, I'm absolutely delighted to be with you today to tell you all about our Water Stewardship Programme and hopefully get a few of you to sign up online. So just to kick off, our programme, we're Irish Water, it's a top priority for us to work in partnership with business to safeguard our precious water supplies. Next slide. Next slide. So why is safeguarding our water so important? Well, there's a number of things, both globally and here in Ireland. Globally, the water crisis has been ranked as the third greatest risk to global economic growth, according to the World Economic Forum. And then, of course, we know at home, we've seen the climate change impacts. There's deteriorating ground and surface water. We've seen our own water shortages. There was a big summer drought there in 2018. I'm sure we're all familiar with that. So it's really, raised up high on the sustainability agenda in Ireland. Next slide. So I'm just going to go into a bit more detail here with the international picture. So we are facing scarcity. That's 70% of our planet is made up of water, yet only 3% of that is fresh water available to drink, and within that, only 1% is available for us to drink. With clean water, there's only 1.1 billion people are actually lack access to water, and inadequate sanitation impacts 2.4 billion people across the planet. Then, when we look at climate change, 2/3 of the world's population may face water shortages due to changing weather patterns, which will cause drought and floods. Next slide. Here at home, as I said, sustainability is brilliant to see. It's really raised up high on the agenda of our government and of all of our businesses. Infrastructure is running at high risk, with about half of treated water lost through leakage. Recent droughts highlight, that we really need to work together to protect our precious water and, really just prepare and safeguard for our prosperous growing nation in the future. So I'm just going to give you a bit of detail in the next slide here, just about what Irish Water does to supply the water. So we have actually 95,000 kilometres of water and wastewater pipe network. And we have over 7,000 water and wastewater infrastructure assets. Next slide. Next slide. And we actually process 1.7 billion litres of water every day. Next slide. 1.6 billion litres of wastewater is treated every day. And, this is why we're really working with the Water Stewardship Programme. So I'm just going to give you a bit of information about what water stewardship is all about. Just to start off, next slide, sorry. In a nutshell, the definition of water stewardship is it's when a business acts as a custodian of our water supply to ensure that water is used in a socially equitable, environmentally sustainable, and economically beneficial way to benefit people and nature. And there's 4 pillars of water stewardship. Just go on to the next slide. So you can look at quantity, so reviewing the quantity, sources, and impact of your water use to check its sustainability. We look at quality, examining potential pollutants in the water through any of the water your business discharges. That could be chemical and biological. Sorry, next slide. And then with the environment, that's really looking at restoring and preserving high conservation value areas around your business and catchment area, and governance, working with stakeholders to achieve fair and transparent governance. Then we also would look at water related challenges. So there's concerns over water quality, water and wastewater prices, over extraction and groundwater replenishment, flood risk, microplastics, pollution runoff, infrastructure and building development, and then access to traditional lands. So what can we do to become a custodian of our precious water supplies? So being a water steward is really just setting, giving one person the responsibility to set out the plan and implement strategies for water conservation and protecting water supplies. So water stewards should have an understanding of your business's water use, just to check its sustainability, the context of your area, and the shared risk of water governance and quality areas around your business. So next slide, you can create a water map of your business. So water mapping is a brilliant way to understand your business's water use. So it's a simple diagram that captures your water sources, services, end users, and outputs. And it allows you to get a really good idea of how much water you use and also its true costs. It also helps you identify problems such as leaks and any water conservation opportunities. And this will, it's brilliant because you'll not only be able to save water, but, also cut down on costs, which is excellent. I suppose you can also consider shared risks as a water steward. So these risks could be, a disruption in water supply, decline in water quality, impact on production and product quality. Reputational, water is a public good, and the public have have a strong view on sustainability. And there's, there could be community opposition there. Regulatory, new water allocations, stricter water quality standards, and compliant to global water strategies. And then with financial, any increases in water tariffs, the cost of insurance and investor reassurance. You can also identify opportunities. So it's brilliant. Sorry, next slide. It's brilliant if you can audit, your business's water use, and that can really help you establish baselines. And ways you can check what to use include, analysing your water bill, checking your meter readings, monitoring patterns of water use. And it's brilliant to have this as a benchmark to measure your conservation actions against on a monthly or annual basis. So taking action to conserve water. So first off, I'd love to ask you all to consider taking your water conservation pledge. So if you just go to water.ie, you can, it literally take you about 2 minutes to make the commitment that you will make changes to conserve water. And there's a number of different actions outlined on water.ie that you could consider, for anything from just becoming a water conservation champion to maybe doing a detect leak test. And then if we just look at, I've got some very simple tips for, at the office and for working at home here for you. So, here's 5 simple tips for the office. It would be fantastic if you would consider, spreading the water conservation message to your co-workers. If you see any leaks or water waste, just report those to the facilities team. You could talk to the facilities manager about, maybe considering using water efficient devices with your toilet sinks and your eyes. You could create a company goal of how much water you want to save and make a plan on how you want to achieve that. And another fantastic way is to look to your local community groups to see if they have any projects to protect our rivers and waterways, which would be fantastic. Then if we look at home, some really easy tips. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already doing a lot of these, but obviously putting on the eco setting on your washing machine, that can save actually like 17 litres. Instead of running the tap, fill the sink, save 28 litres of water. Fantastic. You could consider doing a shorter shower, 5 minutes. That could save you 45 litres. Even when you're flushing the toilet, if you could even do 2 full and 2 half flushes instead of 4 full flushes. That saves 3 litres. And then the a really great one to start off with is just don't let the tap run when you're brushing your teeth. You could even use a mug and you're going to save, potentially 11.5 litres. So that's just some very simple tips for you. Now to get into some of our brilliant free supports. I could just, hopefully the video will play here, and it's an introduction to the water stewardship programme. So if you could cue that up, please. Just on the next slide.
Water stewardship is becoming very important to businesses at the moment because water's really raised up high on the sustainability agenda.
Here in Ireland, we tend to think of water as an abundant resource, but as we see with climate change and the summer we had in 2018, that won't always be the case, and it's very important that we focus on water conservation now.
We have a moral obligation to teach our staff and our students about the importance of water.
Irish Water are delighted to be working in partnership with business as joint custodians of our water supply, working hand in hand to really protect and safeguard our water for our future.
This programme has really taught us that it's more about the conservation and the stewardship of water rather than reduction. So it's been absolutely a huge success for us, I think.
It's not just about how to be more water efficient and how to save money on water. It's also being an advocate of water and working together to really protect our water supply.
Irish Water have been at the forefront of developing something which gives people a tool to help them progress their water conservation and stewardship actions on site.
It's also international best practice, and it's really a fantastic way of getting the newest cutting edge green credential, which is accredited by international water stewardship standards.
It's a brilliant opportunity to find how other companies deal with the same issues, what sort of approach they take and how they structure it.
I think it's been a fantastic opportunity for us to really delve into our Origin Green targets. It's a reputational thing in the area as well, that we're seen to be key leaders in the area of water conservation.
If you'd like to find out more about the Water Stewardship Programme, please go to water.ie and we have lots of information there for you.
So that was great. Just to give you a bit more detail about the Certified Water Stewardship Programme, the training supports business customers on how to lower water consumption, reduce operating costs, while also protecting the environment. We're very proud of the programme. It's actually the first of its kind globally. And, it's brilliant for our customers because you achieve international best practice certification. The programme's accredited by the European Water Stewardship Standard. And it's fully funded by ourselves and SkillNet Ireland, by the Department of Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science, and delivered by our fantastic delivery partner, Central Solutions. The programme is, it's very, highly thought of in the business community already. In the next slide. You can see here, it's endorsed and supported by a number of the leading business stakeholder groups, from IBEC to Enterprise Ireland, SEAI, Origin Green. So we've got really fantastic support from the business community to date. So what does the programme deliver? What does the training deliver? Next slide. Just to give you a bit of an outline, the programme's obviously gone ahead online during the pandemic. It's been highly successful. So that's great. You can sign up and it'll be available to you, straight away, even now. So first of all, we have, an introduction to water stewardship, setting the business case. We have water mapping of your business, water conservation and quick wins at your site. And then we helped you develop a strategy and action plan. And there's optional webinars involved in that, with lots of mentoring and support to help you develop your water charter, and some really fantastic opportunities for peer-to-peer learning. And then just to give you a little bit of an update on the programme, the next slide. We've trained, it's actually over 400 water stewards to date. We, 70% of our water stewards are introducing annual water stewardship targets and KPIs on the foot of the programme. There's been well over 1,000 new water conservation projects to date, and it's a nice quote there from the European Water Stewardship Director, just to say that this is an innovative and world-leading programme. We also have some other supports available. Just on the next slide, I can tell you about the Sustainable Water Partner Training. I mean, this is a very, a very, very much a condensed version of the programme. And you can, businesses are invited to go and take some online training. It's basically just learning about the importance of safeguarding our precious water, and it's brilliant because you can then share your sustainable business partner badge to your social media or any of your marketing materials, and it's a fantastic quiz if you want to check that out on Water.ie. We're also, we've expanded our offering this year. We have a bespoke course for smaller businesses, and it's great because it gives you a really useful list of water conservation opportunities and actions when you take part in that. This is a bit of an exclusive. We're going to have an online assessment tool available in the coming weeks as well, and that will enable businesses to assess their current water use and identify some training that they might need or good next steps. And we'll also be inviting businesses to recertify annually in 2022, which is really fantastic because it really helped them to formally meet their targets under other green schemes like Origin Green and Enterprise Ireland, etc. So I know that's been very welcomed by the business community. So if you want to go to our water conservation hub, we've got a whole load of additional bespoke water conservation tips for different industries. And so we have hospitality, agriculture, manufacturing, pharmaceuticals. We also have colleges and universities, and I was in the process of doing one for the retail industry, and that should be launched actually probably next week. So that there's some brilliant tips involved in that. What we did with Retail Ireland at IBEC. We also on the hub we have a number of fantastic resources. There's great video case studies from Intel, the Dalata Hotel Group, and Dublin Airport, and it's great because you can see where you can maybe get funding for some of your water conservation projects, and there's links to lots of different resources on there as well. So that just leaves me to say, I really hope that you would consider signing up. Sorry, next slide. You can see here that all you have to do is go to water.ie/stewardship, and all of the supports I've talked about today are available there, and I really hope you do. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Christine Crawford, thank you for your time. I think the water steward is a great idea because we need to protect and cherish our resource, which is water. It's really important to us, obviously.